Water. It covers over 70% of Earth's surface. However, less than 1% of our water is suitable for drinking. Spanning 64,000 square miles, the Chesapeake Bay watershed flows into North America's largest estuary. 75% of the 18 million people who call our watershed home rely on it for drinking water. At the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, we believe that protecting this vital resource is paramount if we wish to provide clean drinking water for ourselves and future generations.
We are standing in the middle of our Greening Greater Fulton project, which is 2 blocks of a green street on Government Road in Richmond's East End. So this was a unique site in that this project is all on public property, and before we put in our green infrastructure, it was mostly just impervious surface. There weren't many trees, there wasn't much shade. This area was definitely not reflective of the vibrant community that lives here.
Best neighborhood I've ever lived in. Fulton is really a community that watches out for its own, and it's been left to do that because it has not received much input from the city or from public investment. So private investment and nonprofit organizations are really the heart and soul of this community and making sure that it rises.
Historic Fulton is known as being one of the first African American communities in the country that was in essence wiped out by urban renewal. And so we try to honor that every day, and this project honors that as well. And already we're seeing businesses attracted to our business district as a result of this project.
The water flows directly from Gillies Creek into the James River, which flows ultimately into the Chesapeake Bay. By implementing green infrastructure practices like bioretention areas and permeable pavers, we're able to capture that stormwater that's running off site, and we're able to treat that stormwater, have it infiltrate back into the ground instead of running off into the sewer system or into our local waterways.
I always have these full circle moments working with groundwork, and the Fulton Green Street is definitely one of those. It's inspiring watching stuff that I've lived, grew up around, and actually working to make it a better space than it was. Today we are at an organic dairy farm in Lancaster County. We have been working with this farm for the last 5 years. As a year ago, this project was completed. We partnered with Organic Valley, with the National Fish Wildlife Foundation, and NRCS to implement a project that can address all the nutrient resource concerns of this farm.
Being that my farm is 100 yards off the stream, I see a lot of trash coming down the stream when we get a lot of rain, so it just makes me want to do a better job in trying to eliminate that. Over the years, the stream bank kept eroding. The creek was changing its route, and I was losing acreage to the neighbor across the stream. So I'm thinking to myself, what is it going to look like in another 10 or 20 years?
This farm is located right off the Pequea Creek, which is a very important waterway for Lancaster and for the Chesapeake Bay. And due to that proximity, the risk of getting nutrients runoff is very high. The Alliance was able to support that by implementing riparian forest buffer. And we have implemented manure storage that would give the farmer 6 months or more of manure storage. We stabilized the barnyard that now is preventing erosion. We have also helped building cattle walkway that is avoiding erosion. And thankfully now we're preventing tons and tons of nitrogen, tons and tons of phosphorus and sediment runoff.
So in the past, when cows came out, it was just a dirt hill. That hill was eroding because of the cattle traction and just animals walking on it all the time. So they put in a concrete barnyard, and they put in practices to divert water and reduce that overland flow of water and help save that hillside and help make it better for the environment, but also a much more comfortable environment for the cows.
Avner is a very progressive, good steward that really is interested in doing the right thing. He has trusted the Alliance to help him to accomplish his goals and to ensure that this farm is set for success. And that is very important because this is his legacy. This farm is what he's going to leave to his children and the future generations.
I feel like if everybody along the Pequea Creek would have the same goal or vision, I think it would take away a lot of our challenges that we face.
It's important for the Alliance to be working with partners because as a capacity builder in the region, we're well aware that we're just one organization, and the Alliance seeks to do all of our work in collaboration. The Alliance's Community Green Access Grant not only creates more accessible funding for organizations, but we're also striving to build capacity of organizations. And so we were able to create a grant program built out of the needs that the Alliance and our staff have seen amongst community-based organizations throughout the watershed. We built this with a lot of principles for equitable fundraising in mind, where we wanted it to be an accessible program and one that felt like our community members and our partners felt they had the flexibility to use the funds in the ways that were most appropriate for the work they were doing.
The funding that we received through the Alliance's mini grant program has been a capacity building opportunity that we could not have done on our own. The Edible Classroom benefits our school communities and the community at large by providing opportunity. We create and sustain learning gardens where children, families, school staff engage with real food from seed to table, all in the platform of this outdoor green space of a garden right on school property.
As you can see around us here at Edible Classroom, we have rain barrels on site, we have native pollinator plants that are buffering the whole system, and all of this pulls together the connection between agriculture and clean water. It is my hope that in working with organizations like Edible Classroom, we're able to create greater bridges, greater connections for students and nature. I look around me and I see this garden and I see it as an impetus for students to become better stewards for our environment.
Today we're at the Emery Waters Nature Preserve, which is part of the Jug Bay Wetland Sanctuary in Lothian, Maryland. Well, for the project here, we worked with the staff at Jug Bay Wetland Sanctuary to reforest 36 acres of former agricultural field and plant meadow in 17 acres of agricultural field.
When we started managing this property, we found ourselves with about 57 acres of agricultural land, and we needed to do something with that. Empty soil that had been treated for many years with pesticides. Planting trees was just the natural way to diminish that erosion and create habitat for wildlife as well. After we planted the trees, we actually have seen a difference. We don't see as much water running off and the sediments as well. They're actually being kept on the fields. So it's really incredible. In addition to the benefit of planting trees for reduction of erosion and losing of the soil, there's also the benefit of creating a whole new habitat. So birds are going to benefit from that, as well as mammals, turtles, all sorts of wildlife. And we have seen an increase on the amount of insects, butterflies, bees that are visiting this new habitat.
Working with the Alliance has been really incredible because for the first couple of years, my volunteers would do a survival study and count those trees that were not going to make it, and the Alliance then had the funds and ability to replace those trees and replant them. That kind of dedication and commitment to maintaining this reforestation site is directly impacted the success of it. It has been a really dedicated effort. Every single one of the trees on this site have had my hands or a volunteer's hands on them twice or even 3 times a year to make sure that they're safe, healthy, and thriving. Really, the work really is only just beginning when the tree is in the ground. More people need to realize that you don't plant a tree and walk away. You plant a tree and you make a commitment. And that's what this story really is telling here at this site.
So this project's providing a myriad of benefits to this park, but also to water quality. Jug Bay Wetland Sanctuary is in the Patuxent River watershed. And the Patuxent River flows directly into the Chesapeake Bay. So this project, even though it's a distance away from the Chesapeake, it's very important from keeping pollution out.
Thank you for joining us for this exciting look at just a few of our recent accomplishments across the Chesapeake Bay watershed. As you just saw, we believe that protecting the lands and waters of our Chesapeake Bay is paramount to helping ourselves and future generations. We carry out our mission with passion and an understanding that everything we do will make a difference today, tomorrow, and 100 years from now. Emerging threats have only reinforced the importance of unified actions as we restore our lands and waters of the Chesapeake Bay together. In a year that's been anything but normal, we have remained laser focused on our critical work. We can't do it without you, and we are honored to call you a partner in this work. As you see on the screen, we're inviting you to make a gift in support of our mission. When you give to the Alliance, you make a direct impact on the health of the lands and waters that we call home. Your support allows us to increase our reach year after year as we expand our work across the watershed. Help us grow our team of passionate experts to bring new solutions to the Bay's problems and engage more of the people who live, work, and play in our Chesapeake communities. Many thanks for joining us, and cheers to a cleaner Chesapeake.